Something I should have made clear and didn't, and actually misstated a couple of things in the video that corresponds to what we see here. And I'll be posting this prior to that video, but let's clarify what a revenue function tells us and what a cost function tells us. A revenue function is not the amount of revenue, it's the rate at which revenue accumulates. Okay, and it's the instantaneous rate at which revenue accumulates, and more specifically, the instantaneous rate with respect to time at which revenue accumulates. So if your revenue function, where T is measured in years, is the function we have here, $1 million plus $50,000 times T. This means that between T equals 0 and T equals 1, the revenue function is going to change from $1 million to $1,050,000. What's it mean? What's the revenue function mean at a given time? It means that you evaluate this function and multiply it by a short time interval, and you get the approximate amount of revenue. Or if you take the average revenue function and multiply it by a year, you get the amount of revenue in the year. You have to multiply this by a time interval in order to get an actual revenue. So it's not a function that tells you the revenue, it tells you the rate at which revenue accumulates. Similarly, the cost function is the rate at which cost accumulates. And I said it, which cost accrues, because I wanted to show off my vocabulary, and I'm probably using a bad word there anyhow, that no economist would ever use. Okay, in any case, and I don't know how economists talk. So, these are the meanings. And keep this in mind when we talk about the meanings and the interpretation of trapezoids and regions of the graph.